Live and Let Die, the second Ian Fleming James Bond book after Casino Royale. Casino Royale, the Daniel Craig movie, is relatively true as an adaptation of the Casino Royale book. But with Live and Let Die, now you start to see some differences between the movie version and the book version. In the movie version, Mr. Big, played wonderfully by Yaphet Kotto, is trafficking heroin and drugs. In the book version, he's trafficking ancient maritime gold coins. And you have Solitaire, played by Jane Seymour in the movies. She's in the book. You have Baron Samedi, you have the voodoo element and the superstition element. You have the Harlem location. But in the book version, there are some locations that are not in the movie version. So you have the location of Jamaica. You have the character of Quarrel helping James Bond in Jamaica. They're in this book, but in the movie version, they're not there. Although they did use Quarrel and Jamaica in the Dr. No movie. Also in this book, you have Felix Leiter being attacked by a shark. And the bad guys, they leave a note on his injured body saying he disagreed with something that ate him. That's in the Live and Let Die book. But if you watch the movies, that scene appears in License to Kill, starring Timothy Dalton. Also in this book, you have James Bond discovering a warehouse that has exotic fish. And inside the exotic fish tanks, the gold coins are hidden. Now, that exotic fish warehouse is in this book, Live and Let Die, but in the movie version, it's also in Timothy Dalton's License to Kill. So you start to notice those differences as you're reading the book, especially if you're a fan of the movies. You can't help but notice those differences. The book itself is a breezy read, engaging. The plot is easy to follow. It's an interesting plot. You root for the good guy. The bad guy is also very suave and sophisticated in the book. Mr. Big is very suave and sophisticated. So, although of course he's the bad guy and you want James Bond to defeat him, you have this sort of begrudging respect almost for Mr. Big, because the way he's described in the book is very suave, very sophisticated, very intelligent, multilingual, and he's a worthy adversary for James Bond, shall we say. So it's an interesting book to read. I think you'll enjoy reading it. And I would say the book is quite gritty. So, of course, in your mind's eye, you may be imagining a particular James Bond actor. We can't help it. We are only human. So we can't help it if we've seen the movies first before reading the books, which is what I've done. I've seen all the movies first. I've only recently started reading Casino Royale and Live and Let Die, the book versions. So I can't help but be influenced by my love of the movies. And I'm imagining James Bond actors in my mind. So what I would say is, because this book is very gritty, especially some elements of the book are very, very, very gritty. And in those moments, I was imagining Sean Connery, or maybe Timothy Dalton or Daniel Craig, one of the grittier James Bond actors, rather than the more suave and light-hearted Roger Moore or Pierce Brosnan. I was imagining more gritty actors like Sean Connery or Timothy Dalton in particular. So, but I don't want to influence you. When you read the book, you may have someone else in mind. Someone else may pop into your head as you're reading. Everybody's different. But for me, the grittier parts of the book, I was in my mind imagining Sean Connery and Timothy Dalton, just to let you know. I think you'll really enjoy reading this book. It's breezy. I don't think it's as good as Casino Royale, but it's a light-hearted book that you can read when you're on the train, while you're drinking coffee. Won't take you long to read it. And I want to read all the books in order now. So in the movie versions, Moonraker is quite a bit later on, but in the book versions, Moonraker is the next book. It's the third book. So I'll try and read that one next and let you know my thoughts.